Hey everybody, back with another video. This is going to be a 13 card, I believe, SGC reveal. So, haven't looked at any of the cards yet. Still have the invoice on this one, so let me get rid of that. It's a lot of nice stuff in this order. I do know the grades. This was a combination of raw and crossover, but like I said, I haven't looked at any of the cards themselves yet. So, really excited about this. This is an order I submitted on December 9th, and today is, I believe, like the 18th or 19th. Doesn't really matter, but pretty good overall return time considering the holidays. So, first up, this is Eddie Seacott. If my camera wants to focus, this is going to be a recurring thing, I guess, until I get a less busy background, but I bought this raw on eBay. Yeah, eBay. And, okay. So, this is, as I said, Eddie Seacott in a 3. I bought this raw on eBay. The scan quality was terrible. They had the contrast all turned up, so didn't really know if this card was going to be in good shape, but I took a gamble. I felt kind of good about it, so that really paid off. So, nice stain on the back there, but overall the color and registration on this one are fantastic. So that is Eddie Seacott. Next up, this is a card I've been wanting for a very long time. 1901 Willis, Sports of All Nations Baseball. This one I had been watching on COMC for quite a while. This card can be kind of expensive graded, and I got a notification that it had been put on sale, and got it for, I think it was like $15 or $12. Just an incredible price. I really love the look of this card. And the back is very, very cool. It's kind of busy, but, you know, it's such a cool looking card, and not one you're going to see every day. And a 4 on it is fantastic. So, a little bit of an oddball. I don't know if I mentioned it, but this is an English company. So, very early representation of baseball from outside of the United States. So, very cool there. Next up, this is a card I bought raw on Net54. This is a favorite of mine. Common-wise, this grade does have a little wrinkle over by its collar there. I thought it might be able to get a 3. I think that the corners, had they been a little sharper, it would have got it. But great looking color, nice registration, and a tough card. So, Sweet Cap 350. Back's pretty stand up. I forgot about that, but oh well. Oh man. Okay, so the, next up, this is one I was really, really excited for. So, this is a very rare item. This is a 1914 Pritchard stamp. Larry Doyle. I knew, or I thought, that it was going to be in the little baggie, which obviously is not my preference, but I don't know that it was going to stay in the holder with as thin as the stock is. So better overall for the protection of the item, but you probably won't see another one of these on YouTube for a very long time, unless someone out there has some. But paper loss on the back, paper added, but it doesn't affect the front. So, like I said, 1914 Pritchard stamps. This was a New York Giants only set, and then the same company did one with a similar design for, I believe, Princeton sports. So, very happy to own this piece. This is now one of my favorites in my Larry Doyle collection. Really, really cool card. Next up, this is one of the bigger surprises of the submission. This is a 2, and you're saying right now, yeah, it looks like it should be way higher. Why isn't it a 5 or whatever? But it has paper loss on the back, so I'm surprised it isn't a 1.5. But the front is a lot nicer than my previous E95, which I believe is a 2. It has a nice big wrinkle like right here where it got like pushed in. So very happy with this one. E95 Larry Doyle. I really like some of these caramel cards, so you might start seeing them a little more often in my videos. Next up, this is one I just talked about in my last T205 video. This is a Arthur Bugs Raymond Hassan cigarettes. Has a little stamp up there. So this was in a lot that I really wanted, and I just lost out. There were two cards that I wanted, this and a Buck Herzog T205 that turned out to be trimmed. And I was really bummed that I lost it because this is a tough short print, and I wanted it. And then all of a sudden, I see just those two cards in a lot from the winner. So they wanted only the T206 in that lot, and they put up the T205 for what I felt was an amazing price. So I am lucky enough to have a second copy of this Raymond, which, as I said, is one of my favorite looking cards in the team set. So that one got a 2. I was expecting a 1.5 with the stamp, but overall the rest of the card is in pretty good shape, considering how sensitive the gold borders are on these T205. Next up, this was another raw purchase. This guy that I have purchased from many times put up a bunch of raw cards, and this one really caught my eye. This is a T206 Larry Doyle throwing. This is a 150 only series card, so they this card only comes with 150 backs, so that's Sovereign, Hindu, and then Sweet Cap and Piedmont for this particular card anyway. So it is kind of an expensive card because it is a short print, and I felt it was a pretty good deal. And then when I got it in, I was really shocked by just how nice the color was on it. Just really, really bold color and nice registration on it. So that one came back a 3.5. I was expecting a 3 because of the corners, but I think I got the half grade bump just because of how nice this copy is. So there's a nice close-up. Really, really great looking card. I think this is going to replace my previous 3.5. I think this one has a little bit better coloring, and the other one is in everyone's least favorite SGC holder. For those of you who have seen the one where it's white and then has a line, you know what I'm talking about. So Larry Doyle throwing, 3.5. Next up, this was another raw purchase. This is Al Bridwell Portrait with Cap. Here's a close-up of the front there. This came back a 3, which I'm very happy with. It has a polar bear back, which is always a good one. So Al Bridwell Portrait with Cap, 3. And I can't remember, I think the rest of these should be crossovers, but this is another one for my Larry Doyle collection. This is an M116 Sporting Life pastel. So a lot of the cards in the set come with 2 background colors. You have your standard blue, and then a little bit tougher in most cases is the pastel back. So I had this one for a while in an SGC 5, or sorry, a PSA 5, and the rest of my Larry Doyle cards are in SGC. So I wanted to cross this one over. There was a weird thing in the PSA case, I guess, because I'm not seeing it on the card that I thought was going to hold it back. So I was not expecting it to cross over to a 5, but the fact that it did, I am very, very happy because this card does not come up very often. So super happy to have this one out of the PSA slab. Next up, this is a card that I've been wanting for a very, very long time. I've owned one other one that I wasn't happy with, and I was looking for a certain quality in this one. I wanted the right color red background, which there is some variety, and then I wanted the right level of contrast between the two sides of his face. The print quality on this card, for whatever reason, is really affected. There's a large variance, and so I was holding out for a copy that looked just like this. There's a nice close-up there. This one popped up on Net54 in a PSA 1.5 with a stain qualifier. I felt that was incredibly harsh, and The other thing there was like a weird crack and there was plastic coming up over the card, which was really scary. I don't know why PSA would send that out like that, because clearly it happened in the factory. There was no case on the crack on the outside. It was like inside the case there was like a plastic fleck over it. So that was scary. I'm happy that the card is safe and was undamaged by that PSA mishap. So just a beautiful example of this card. So for whatever reason, it did get a half grade bump and no qualifier, but I think that's more to do with PSA being a little bit too harsh for whatever reason on this one. So I really just love this card. Super happy with it. There's a shot of the stains there. All right, there we go. Next up, this is one that I grabbed raw, or no, this one was in a PSA case, that's right. This was a PSA 3, got it for a steal. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. Fred Merkel's a favorite of mine, so I'll probably just keep it, but for the price that I got it for, I couldn't pass it up. So, Fred Merkel portrait. Next up, this was an awesome gift from my friend Scott. He posts videos on YouTube by the name of, I think, T206 Collector, but he has an amazing collection, and he knew Jerry Downs was one of my most wanted cards. It was in a PSA 5 case, which didn't really match the rest of my collection, so I thought because the card was so nice that SGC would cross it over, and I was right. So there's a close-up of it. I love the pink background. Jerry Downs has a great story. If you're not familiar, it's worth your read. So, Jerry Downs in a 5. This, like I said, was in a PSA 5 case. So, once again, good luck with a straight crossover there. Last but not least, this was an eBay Bucks purchase. This was in a PSA 4 case that had a terrible scratch on it. So, once again, I took a gamble on the card being nice underneath, and it paid off because this card is super nice. This is a Larry Doyle with Bat Sovereign back in an SGC 4. Again, this was a straight crossover from PSA, which doesn't always happen, so got very lucky with this one. There's a shot of the back. Nice 350 Sovereign there. Very, very happy overall with this SGC order. Really cannot ask for much more. So anyway, another long video from me. I appreciate everyone watching, and I hope you all have a good one. Go Niners. Bye.